what does manhood mean to you?
Um, Simply put, manhood is handling your business, more than anything. Uh, it's funny, I was having a conversation with somebody today about the definitiveness of trying to define manhood and how in creating that space you exclude a lot of others. Um, and that's never something that I choose to do. I will never be the perfect man, nor, will I be less of a man because I don't fit by standards that are set by anybody else. Uh, but what I will do is I handle my business. I move with integrity.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited about this brother today. He is a multifaceted professional. He's a creative, and he's an active alumnus of Morehouse College. His name is Mr. Kyle Hobson. Hi, Kyle.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm cool. I've been able to wake up another day, so I'm happy to say that.
I hear you. Me too. Me too. And so, Kyle, I'm so glad that you are here today because you are helping to bust wide open the very narrowly construed narrative about Black men and Black manhood. And as we know, Black men are as diverse and as wide as there are Black men on the planet. And yet there seems to be just one or two small narratives about you. And so ultimately, my goal is for a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models to be able to come and see the same 6 questions answered by lots of different men, well over 100 now, and perhaps find guidance there. And then for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, that perhaps our minds could be opened and that we can start to eradicate some of those shackles on our own minds. And so I am so glad that you are here to be a part of this repository. And I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
Um, Simply put, manhood is handling your business, more than anything. Uh, it's funny, I was having a conversation with somebody today about the definitiveness of trying to define manhood and how in creating that space you exclude a lot of others. Um, and that's never something that I choose to do. I will never be the perfect man, nor, will I be less of a man because I don't fit by standards that are set by anybody else. But what I will do is I handle my business. I move with integrity. You know, uh, I have a sense of compassion. Something that is able for me to feel what my people, what my other Black men are able to feel. You know, Moving with a sense of tenacity and still remaining to be grounded and loyal. You know, uh, so I would say, it then answers the question. I tried my best.
It does answer the question. You did a great job. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Kyle, who and or what is important to you?
Man, my family. I'm be honest with you. My family is a leading light for a lot of what I do. You know, uh, I'm the third of 4 kids. And the only one that's left the state. So I'm from New York, so all my family's still back up there. And for me, I try my best to lead a image for my family and be somebody. I used to grow up and say I want to be somebody that my family is like, oh, I know him. You know, it sounds so minuscule, but it shows that somebody's proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Proud to say that they know you. So I'll say that, God is definitely a leading light in my life. Whatever leads everybody, where I grew up knowing Jesus Christ, and that's my dude. We rock together real well. Uh, but it's difficult for you to go through this world as scary and as unpredictable as it can be and not have a sense of guidance from something, as much wrong is going on in the world, but to also look at the world and see the beauty that comes from it. It's hard to think that just man has created something by itself. So, I try to, keep God first for real, my family, and then my community. And I speak obviously to the Black community and the love that I have for that, but also my immediate community, those friends that I get to call every day and release my issues out on, the people that I could sit near when I just need, somebody around me. Those are the people I have to, give my appreciation to, because I wouldn't be able to continue forward on anything I'm doing without them.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Thank you. So Kyle, how do you want us to see you?
As a creative, that first and foremost, I believe that I was put on this earth to tell stories through multi form, you know. So to see me as a creative, but more specifically, see me as a poet, see me as a musician, see me as a writer. These are things that not only do I find solace in, but they're just different forms of communication. Being able to tell the same story to a different group of people. See me as, a compassionate dude, somebody with a big heart, that does very little for himself, but as much as he can for others. But also, somebody that has thick skin and is not going to just take any hit, somebody who's strong and somebody who, is dependable, and I think somebody that is able to lead, I think there are very few that are called. And then from those who are called, very few who nominate, because it's scary, and trust and believe, I could sit in the back, but I'm somebody that when necessary, when you got to call me, I'll make something happen.
I hear you. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Kyle, what is your epic dream?
For whatever I do to make it art, honestly, for whatever I do to make it art. There's so many things that I want to do, that I resonate very deeply with the saying a jack of many trades is not a master of none, but all is better than a master of one. But nobody likes to finish the ending of it. I'm somebody who does so much. I graduated with a political science degree while playing multiple instruments and managing, Grammy nominated artists, while working on decriminalization bills for marijuana in Georgia, while working production for Revolt World and A3C, while, being a photographer, freelance, and working and shooting at One Music Fest, while being a touring poet and working and doing TED Talks and working with the Atlanta Hawks and being the only poet to host workshops out of the Mercedes-Benz, and in the backyard, there's so many hats that I wear. And for so long, we're told you can only wear one hat at a time. You can only wear one hat at a time, which is true. You can only wear one hat at a time. But that doesn't mean I can't have a closet full of hats. A lot of people think you gotta only wear that one hat. That's it. Nah, I'm not doing that, because sometimes that hat don't go with the fit that I got on today. I want to change it up a little bit, and I have the ability to do so. I take pride in all of these gifts that God has given me, and what do I would feel asinine if I held that on and didn't try to at least approach every one of them with an open heart, open mind, and did what I felt was right and was to make it art. And whether that's making my community a sense of art, whether that's, the liberation of my people, which is an art form in itself, which would be a beautiful painting at the end, whether that's me writing and performing that art, whether that's helping and developing other people to create their art and everything I do. I wish when they look into textbooks at the end and they search up Kyle Hobson or Kyle the Jukebox or Jukebox Entertainment or anything that's tied to me, it says, whatever it says, it say somewhere, make it art.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. I resonate with so much of what you just said. Thank you. Thank you so much. So you've been answering question number 5 implicitly all along, but I'm going to ask you explicitly. Mr. Kyle Hobson, who are you?
I don't want to answer this. And I say that because like I said, I'm a poet. I have a piece that responds to this specific answer. And excuse me if I mess up on part of it. See, I believed I was a curator of thought, a translator with a pen and paper purpose to express the suppressed. I believed I practiced polygamy with personification and similes, moving magically going boom through doors with my uses of hyperboles and artists adding alliteration to ability C. I believed I was Thor. If Mjolnir was a big pen, striking down with every cage thought, or if I was Doctor Strange and my words traveled time zones because I had the time stone, or if I was Tony Stark and my poems were my suits because, every situation requires different armor to use. Maybe I'm a lunatic for language. Maybe I'm an intellectual, a lunatic for language, a sultan for syntax. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just performed this piece too. I don't remember the rest of the poem. Wow. I say all that to say, I'm art. In its purest form, in its rawest form, in the best of days and in the worst. In the daytime and in the night. In my dreams when I'm awake, I'm art. And I find a way to put that in everything I do.
That is so beautiful. Thank you. I love the poem. Thank you. Thank you so much. So here we are already at question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I don't think you missed anything. I think what isn't shown is the negativities that's often portrayed in Black men. One of the things I found in everything you said was questions to find the positivity in everything, questions to seek out what the world sometimes doesn't want to see because that would humanize us. So I don't think you missed anything. I think you gave exactly what was needed. And that was a reason to smile rather than a reason to frown.
Wow. Wow. You really are a poet.
I just be talking, and then sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
No, that was awesome. Quite beautiful. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for your presence here, but I'm also grateful for your presence in the world and for young kings to be able to look up to you. I know that you work with a variety of folks in the ATL, and I'm so grateful that they get to see you and get to see someone like you and someone who looks like them but who thinks differently, perhaps from what they've seen before, and to see that, yeah, you can do a lot of things. So not that long ago, I did an Instagram post on that very topic that people always say. They're fond of quoting the adage, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but they very rarely say a jack of all trades is a master of none, but often better than a master of one, right? And that when you've been given gifts, it's your responsibility to use those gifts. And often the people who, is my experience, who may poo-poo or make fun of you using all those gifts are often the beneficiary of that usage. And so I just honor you, my king. I pray that your epic dream come true. You are already living your epic dream, Mr. Art, but that it will grow deeper and wider, and everything that you touch will turn into this expression that helps other people. And so I'm so glad that you've been here today, and just thank you so much.
I appreciate you for real. This is beautiful. You know, like I said, I'm glad that you're here to help change that narrative of what it means to be a Black man. Truly.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's important.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And you stay right there, because I want to thank the audience for joining us today. And I really hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And if there is a positive and successful Black man in your community that you want to see highlighted and you want to hear what he has to say, then please click the link below or in my bio, fill out the nomination form, and I'll take it from there. We're just going to keep going until we can't go any further. The story, these narratives need to come out. And I always say success does not mean what a brother does for a living. As long as it's legal and it's positive, I don't really care what he does for a living. What I really care about is the content of his character and the impact that he is making on the people around him, starting with his nuclear family and then spreading out to the rest of us. And so those are the brothers that we want to contribute to this narrative, and so that we can see the full spectrum. So in the meantime, please stay tuned next week for yet another amazing king. And please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Kyle, thank you so much. That was really awesome. Thank you.